You made it. Who is this?
A scholar from Sumeru. They call him Hat Guy. He's an old friend of the Travelers.
Wait, this is the academia representative you wrote about? He doesn't exactly look the part.
I believe this will prove my identity. You'll notice it bears the seal of the Sanctuary of Surasthana.
Well, what do you know? So it does. All right then. My mistake.
It's fine. I expected as much.
What?
So as I mentioned in my letter, the Academia's got its eyes on Dottore. But this matter remains top secret. Apart from those assisting in the investigation, the fewer people who know, the better.
If anyone asks, I'm here in Nod-Crai to pursue my personal academic interests.
Gotta say, Marka, you did pretty well to keep all this under wraps for so long. Sounds like you got in touch with the academia about this way back.
you flatter me.
Where do I even start? Remember that time we fought Rerir at Star Sand Shoal? He sure let me have it then, didn't he? I'll bet Dottore had that all sketched out, with me as his convenient little pawn. He could not care less about us if he tried, but hey! The feeling's mutual.
Does Dottore really strike you as the sort who values his relationships with his colleagues?
Fair point. Definitely not.
Which is why I always keep my guard up whenever he starts making suspicious moves. To that extent, our motivations align. On top of which, I consider you trustworthy people. Now, back on topic. In the wake of the Reikir of Solnari episode, Sandrone and I grew suspicious about Dottore's complete inaction during the entire affair. So we tried to find out what he'd been up to, but unfortunately to no avail.
He never lets anyone in on his plans. The more he cares about something, the more secretive he gets.
Indeed. Perhaps he believes that by keeping a low profile, he can avoid trouble. But that trick isn't going to work on his colleagues.
Yeah, I mean, he's been researching the ancient moon's remnants. And he's been trying to get his paws on the moon marrows. Only an idiot would believe he doesn't have something more planned.
With this in mind, I returned to Snezhnaya and relayed my thoughts to Her Majesty the Tsaritsa, entreating her to have him recalled.
That's pretty direct. Did the Tsaritsa agree?
Yes. I made it abundantly clear that the Fatui's business in Nod-Crai is almost concluded, and we do not need 3 harbingers in this territory. Her Majesty concurred. Accordingly, Dottore has returned at her orders. I imagine he is continuing with experiments, which no one besides he would ever have any interest in.
Common sense might mean nothing to him, but he's not stupid. He knows that no good can come from opposing the Tsaritsa. Smarts alone won't get him all the way. He needs the Rooster's resources and Regrator's Mora, both of which the Tsaritsa can strip from him by waggling a finger.
But doesn't he have a track record of publicly following orders while going against them in private? He probably has it down to a fine art by now.
Wouldn't put it past him. We worked together on a research project once. Only briefly, but it was enough to show me that we're fundamentally different people. He has no interest in doing things methodically, stage by stage. His thoughts jump all over the place, and the moment his curiosity is satisfied, or he gets the results he wants, he disappears. The only similarity we share is that, once we set our minds on doing something, we will see it done, whatever it takes.
Oh, we definitely saw some of that in your battle with Rerir. You got so competitive.
Ugh, do not remind me.
Then I believe we all concur. Dottore will not simply give up.
Fantastic. Now this is turning into a whole day of unpleasant memories. Ugh.
Are you talking about the moon marrow stuff?
He also strikes me as the kind of person to disregard experimental regulations. ruin all the equipment, and go way over budget. Then leave the first person he can find to deal with the fallout.
Exactly! This one time, he was running some high-temperature experiment and the substance exploded. But does he care? No! He orders his subordinates to open the device so he can observe the results, which causes the gas inside to leak out. That gas was poisonous! If I hadn't been there, who knows how many people might have died. And after all that, he left while I was still cleaning up after his mess. What a waste of time, he said. Waste of time? The nerve! He wasted my time!
You've been bottling that up for a while, huh?
Hat guy, I must say, you seem awfully familiar with internal Fatui affairs. Especially when it comes to Dottore.
Thank you, Lady Harbingers, for providing such valuable information. I have no other questions for now, so I'll be on my way.
Wait, what? You're just gonna leave?
You're welcome to join if you want.
Ugh. Just when Paimon thought he'd finally mellowed out.
He makes quite the impression.
I'll say. I've met tons of headstrong people, but not many of them would join me in bad-mouthing Dottore. Anyway, back to the main agenda. Barca, you said that Columbina has gone missing? Or rather, disappeared.
Yeah. We're working on building a connection between her and this world. The simplest method is to find out her real name.
I've actually asked her that question before, but she said she didn't know. Considering our relationship, I doubt she was lying to me.
As far as I recall, she was never dispatched by Her Majesty to claim a gnosis or anything like that. The Tsaritsa's plans had long contained a place specifically for her.
I always thought that was weird. What could she do that the rest of us couldn't?
Knowing what we do now, it's probably something related to Kavaki, right?
More than likely. When she first arrived, Columbina would often go to Her Majesty and ask when she could start the task assigned to her. But Her Majesty always gave the same reply. The time has not yet come. So she spent her days in Snezhnaya doing basically nothing. The Tsaritsa has summoned a beautiful blind maiden to be a harbinger, giving her the third seat by virtue only of her enchanting voice. It was a dumb and stupid rumor, but the reality of the situation made it hard to refute.
And what happened after that?
I imagine she stopped caring. She no longer seemed to care why she had been recruited, and Her Majesty never gave her any missions, so she just continued to sing in the flower garden. For my part, I was busy. So busy, in fact, that watching someone be that idol had me fuming. But still, I got the sense that she had long been used to a life of other people claiming she was needed when she wasn't.
I just felt that having a place to stay would cost me something eventually. And so I waited quietly for the day that I would have to pay the price.
And on the other end of that spectrum, you had me. Someone once told me that I had the lousiest work and the toughest luck. That's a good way of putting it. I forget who said it, but those words have always stuck with me.
But you've done your job exceptionally well all this time. Because at heart, you are a conscientious person.
What is it? Something come to mind?
That makes sense. Nothing screams you are needed like your name shouted from across the town.
So good luck with it. But if you ask me, Colambina is still the most shoutable name. I'm just so used to it now, after all the arguments we've had. I can't be bothered trying to remember another name for her.
Nor I.
Sandrone. Arlecchino.
Huh! It's a Sealy! Does that mean Nicole has news for us?
Ladies, I thank you for your hospitality. If the chance ever comes up, I definitely owe you both a drink sometime.
I'm sure it will.
You can make your own way out. Heck, you've been here enough times, you probably know your way around better than I do.
Okay! Time to do what adventurers do best! Follow that Sealy!